There are things in life you regret revealing. I learned this too late. I'm 74 years old, and I've spent decades watching my words destroy what I built. Relationships, trust, peace, all because I couldn't keep my mouth shut. We live in a world where words have power, where one sentence can ruin you, where the people you trust the most can hurt you the deepest. I've made mistakes, terrible mistakes, and every single one started the same way. I opened my mouth when I should have stayed silent. You think you're close enough to someone. You think they'll understand. So you share. You reveal. You confess. And then it comes back, like a knife in the back. Sometimes people mean to hurt you. Sometimes they don't. But the damage is the same either way. As we get older, wisdom becomes survival. And the wisest thing you can learn is this. Some things should never be spoken, not to family, not to friends, not to anyone. Today, I want to share 5 secrets you must keep to yourself. Things that, once you say them out loud, you can never take back. Speaking your mind isn't always brave. Sometimes, it's just foolish. Because the wrong words don't just hurt others, they destroy you. If this resonates with you, hit that like button and subscribe. I'm Golden Hours. Let's begin. Secret number 1, your plans. Never tell people what you're going to do. Just do it, then let them see the results. Let me tell you what happened to me. I was 32 years old, young, full of dreams. I had saved money for years. I had a plan. I was going to open a small bookstore in my neighborhood. Nothing fancy, just a quiet place where people could come, sit with a book, drink coffee. I had found the perfect location. An old building on a corner lot, big windows, good light. I could see it in my mind. Shelves filled with books, comfortable chairs, the smell of coffee and paper. I was so excited, so proud, and that was my first mistake. I told my family at Sunday dinner. My father said, "A bookstore? Who reads anymore? Everyone watches TV now." I told my best friend over drinks. He laughed. He said, "You run a business? You can't even balance your checkbook." I told my coworkers during lunch. One of them said, "That's a nice dream, but be realistic. You've got a stable job. Don't throw it away." One by one, they chipped away at it. They project their own fears onto you, their own failures, their own limitations, and slowly I started believing them. Maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe it's too risky. So I didn't do it. I stayed at my job. I kept my head down. I told myself I'd do it later, when the timing was better. But that day never came. And now, 40 years later, I drive past that building sometimes. Someone else opened a cafe there. It's successful. People line up outside every morning, and I think, that could have been mine. Here's what I learned. When you announce your plans, something strange happens in your brain. You get a little hit of satisfaction just from talking about it. Your brain thinks you've already done it. And suddenly, the urgency disappears. And worse? People will sabotage you. Sometimes on purpose. Sometimes without even knowing it. They plant seeds of doubt. They remind you of past failures. They list every reason why it won't work. So here's what you do. Keep your plans to yourself. Work in silence. When people ask what you're up to, say, same old, same old. Keep it vague. And then, when you've done it, when you've achieved what you set out to achieve, that's when you share. Because by then, it's too late for them to stop you. Remember this, silence is power. Secret number 2, your money. Never tell people how much money you have. Because money changes everything. Let me tell you about Robert. Robert is 73 years old, lives in Seattle, worked his whole life as an accountant. He saved, he invested, he lived below his means. By the time he retired, he had built something solid, not rich, but secure, enough to live well without worry, and Robert felt proud of that. So when his family gathered for Thanksgiving, and someone asked how retirement was treating him, Robert smiled. He said, "Great, no complaints. I'm set for life." Just that. One sentence, and everything changed. Within 2 weeks, his phone started ringing. First, his nephew, 23 years old, struggling with student loans. "Uncle Rob, could you help me out? Just 20,000. I'll pay you back." Robert hesitated. But family's family, right? So he helped. Then his cousin called. Needed money to start a business. 30,000. Robert helped again. Then his old friend from high school, medical bills, 15,000. Robert helped, then his neighbor, then his sister's husband, then people he hadn't spoken to in years. Everyone suddenly remembered Robert existed. Everyone suddenly needed help, and Robert's a good man. He wanted to help, so he kept saying yes. 2 years later, his retirement fund was cut in half. But here's the worst part. Half of those people never paid him back. They promised, they swore, but they didn't. And the other half? They stopped calling once they got what they needed. No more birthday cards, no more holiday visits. They got what they wanted. And Robert was no longer useful. He told me, "I thought I was helping family, but all I did was turn myself into a bank. And once the bank closed, they disappeared." That's what money does. It changes how people see you. You're not a person anymore. You're a resource. A wallet with legs. And it's not just about people asking directly. It's about expectations. Once people know you have money, suddenly you're expected to pay more at restaurants, give bigger gifts, cover expenses, and worse, resentment. Once people know you have more than they do, they start comparing. They feel bitter. And that bitterness turns into jealousy. So here's what you do. Keep your finances private. When people ask how you're doing, say, "Getting by." You know how it is. Keep it vague. Keep them guessing, because once they know, they'll come for it. And they won't stop until it's gone. Secret number 3, your pain. Nobody wants to hear about your suffering. I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. Let me tell you about Helen. Helen is 74 years old, lives in Portland. She has arthritis, bad knees, chronic back pain. Some days, she can barely get out of bed. Simple tasks become mountains. Cooking, cleaning, getting dressed. Everything hurts. And for a while, Helen was honest about it. When people asked how she was doing, she told them the truth. She said, "Not great. My knees are killing me. My back is worse. I barely slept last night." She thought she was being real, vulnerable. But something strange started happening. Her friends stopped calling. They stopped inviting her to gatherings. They stopped asking how she was. And Helen felt hurt, abandoned. But here's the truth. Everyone has pain, especially at our age. When you complain about yours, you're not bonding. You're burdening. You're reminding people of their own struggles. And nobody wants that. People have enough problems of their own. They don't need yours on top of it. Now, I'm not saying you should suffer alone. If you need help, ask for it. Talk to your doctor. Talk to your spouse. Talk to someone who can actually help. But don't broadcast your pain to the world. Don't make it your identity. Because here's what happens when you do. People start defining you by your pain. You become the one with the bad knees. The one who's always sick. The one who complains. And once that label sticks, they stop seeing everything else about you. They stop seeing your wisdom, your humor, your stories. All they see is your suffering, and they don't want to be around it. Here's what you need to understand. People respect strength. They admire resilience. They're drawn to positivity. When they're around you, they want to feel lighter, not heavier. So give them that. Put on a brave face. Stay positive. Not because you're pretending, but because you're choosing dignity over pity. Save your struggles for the people who can actually help. But to everyone else, be the person they want to be around. Remember this. Your pain is yours to carry, not theirs to hear. Secret number 4. Your past, your mistakes, your regrets, your shame, keep them buried. Because once people know, they'll never let you forget. Let me tell you about Barbara. Barbara is 69 years old, lives in Atlanta, and she's carried a secret for 30 years. When she was in her late 30s, she had an affair. Her marriage was struggling. She felt lonely, neglected, and she made a choice she regretted for the rest of her life. The affair ended. She stayed in her marriage. Her husband never found out, and she spent decades carrying that guilt. It ate at her, kept her up at night. One day she met someone she thought she could trust, a friend from church. They'd known each other for years. Barbara thought, maybe if I tell someone, I'll finally feel better. So she told her. She told her everything, the affair, the lies, the guilt, the shame. And for a moment it did feel better, like a weight had been lifted. But that feeling didn't last long. Within 2 weeks, other people started looking at her differently, whispering when she walked by, avoiding her at church gatherings. Her friend had told someone, and that someone told someone else. And within a month, everyone knew. Barbara's deepest secret, spread like wildfire. People who had known her for years suddenly saw her differently. They judged her. They gossiped about her. They excluded her. One woman said to her face, "I can't believe you did that. 30 years ago or not, that's unforgivable." Barbara left that church. She never went back. She told me, "I thought confession would heal me, but it destroyed me instead. I wish I had kept my mouth shut." Here's the truth. People say they want honesty. They say they won't judge. But they're wrong. Because when you tell people your secrets, you're handing them power. Power to judge you. Power to gossip about you. And it doesn't matter how long ago it happened. It doesn't matter if you've changed. Once people know, they'll never forget. And they'll never let you forget either. So here's what you do. Keep your past to yourself. Your mistakes are yours. Your regrets are yours. You don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't owe anyone a confession. Learn from your past. Make amends where you can. Forgive yourself, but don't share it. Because once it's out, you can't take it back. Some things are meant to stay buried, and your past is one of them. Secret number 5. Other people's secrets. If someone trusts you with their secret, take it to your grave. Let me tell you about William. William is 78 years old, lives in Philadelphia, and he lost his best friend because of one mistake. Years ago, his friend confided in him, something deeply personal, something painful, something he had never told anyone else. William felt honored, trusted, or at least he thought he kept it to himself. One night, William's wife asked him what was wrong. He seemed distracted, and William told her, "Just her, nobody else." He thought it would be okay. She's my wife. We share everything. But his wife told her sister, and her sister told her friend, and that friend told someone else. And before long, that secret was everywhere. William's friend found out, and he was devastated. He called William. His voice was shaking. He said, "I trusted you. I told you something I've never told anyone, and now everyone knows. How could you?" William tried to explain, tried to apologize, but it didn't matter. His friend hung up, and they never spoke again. William told me, "I lost my best friend over one conversation, one moment of weakness, and I can never get him back." Here's the truth. When someone tells you a secret, they're giving you something precious, their trust, their vulnerability, and if you betray that, even once, even to one person, you've broken something that can never be repaired. But it's not just about loyalty. It's about self-preservation. Because when you gossip, when you share other people's secrets, you're telling the world something about yourself. You're saying, "I can't be trusted. I can't keep my mouth shut." And once people know that, they will never trust you again. So here's what you do. If someone tells you a secret, lock it away. Bury it deep. Don't tell your spouse. Don't tell your best friend. Don't tell anyone. Because secrets spread. That's what they do. And you're the one who started it. You're the one who betrayed trust. So guard other people's secrets like they're your own. Because when you do, people will trust you. People will respect you. And that's rare. That's valuable. That's something worth protecting. Remember this. A secret shared is a secret betrayed. Let me leave you with this. Most people talk too much. They share too much. They reveal too much. And then they wonder why their lives are full of drama, why people use them, Why people judge them? The answer is simple. They gave people too much information, too much power. So practice silence. Practice keeping things to yourself. I'm 74 years old, and I've learned this the hard way. I told people my plans, and they crushed my dreams. I told people about my money, and they used me. I told people about my pain, and they avoided me. I told people about my past, and they judged me. I betrayed someone's trust, and I lost them forever. These are lessons I can't undo, mistakes I can't take back. But you don't have to make the same ones. Guard your plans, guard your money, guard your pain, guard your past, guard other people's secrets, because once they're out, you can't put them back. Stay wise, stay silent, and stay strong. If this resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe. Leave a comment telling me which of these 5 secrets hit home for you. I'm Golden Hours. And remember, your silence is your power.